2. So for today's workout, the theme is going to be landmine, sled, and kettlebells. And each circuit is going to have one landmine movement, one sled movement, and one kettlebell movement, or at least that's what I'm planning on. Starting off on the landmine with, actually, it's probably better if I start with the sled. So starting off with the sled. Doing reverse sled drags, and then a forward sled push to bring it back. After that, going into some farmer walks, but with a towel grip, but also a bent hand. So a couple of days ago, I was taking the trash out, and I noticed that I was carrying the trash bag, but with a bent arm, so that the trash bag doesn't hit the floor while I was taking it out. And so I thought, oh, you know what would be functional? If you could replicate that with kettlebells or farmer carry. And the third part of the circuit is landmine hex bar deadlifts. So yeah, that's the first circuit. Doing this themed but strength-based cardio. For the second circuit, starting off with the landmine. On the landmine, doing suitcase deadlifts but on the hex bar, so standing in between. And so since the weight is on one side, it forces you to come like that, really hitting the obliques big time. Obliques, quadratus lumborum, all that good stuff. So really leaning into the side or into the direction of the pull. So since it's going that way, I'm leaning this way. See, with that one, lean like almost as if you're falling, but this will stop you. On the sled, doing single arm rows, going left hand one way, and we'll do right hand back. In the same order as I was doing it on the landmine. Oh. After the landmine movement, moving into some alternate kettlebell swings. Going for 5 each side. But yeah, that's the second circuit. Like the first one, I'm gonna aim for 5. And yeah, let's see what happens after. So for the next circuit, starting off with the kettlebell. On the kettlebell, doing squats, but on my toes. So after I get the kettlebell into position, I'm getting on my toes, trying to get my balance, and squat. Going for 5 on each shoulder. Switching sides. The second movement on the sled, which is a double-handed sled row. Unlike how I usually do it, I'm keeping my legs relatively out of the movement and just trying to get a bunch of rows in and trying to contract the rhomboid area. And then pushing it back using a lower handle on the sled, which forces more abs and quads. Like the whole leg seems to be activated more on a bottom sled push than a regular sled push. And for the final movement of the circuit, doing double-handed rows on the landmine. Going for 10 of that. And like the previous circuits, doing 5. So for the next circuit, moving into some lateral or sideways sled, holding the sled with an outstretched hold, and then gonna move laterally. Going one way down and then the other way back. Good for hitting the abductors and adductors, or the groin and the outer glutes. For the landmine movement on this circuit, doing a rear facing suitcase deadlift to row. Going for 4 each side. For the kettlebell movement on this circuit, keeping with my recent obsession of kettlebell juggling, doing a clean to simple front flip, clean, simple front flip, and doing 4 each side of that. But yeah, that's the 4th circuit now. Yeah, 4th circuit. After doing 5 sets of the previous circuit, for the final circuit of today's workout, which again we'll be doing 5 sets of, is doing a landmine deadlift in a perpendicular stance. Perpendicular is anytime, so the landmine goes this way, so you're perpendicular to the landmine. And deadlift, row, similar to the previous movement, but staggered stance and perpendicular. Going for 5 each side. Oh. After that, for the sled movement on this circuit, doing cross body sled rows. The arm that's away from the sled is what's going to be performing the row. Also, because of that, the obliques are going to be a lot more engaged. And the lats have to stretch around a lot more in order to wrap around and pull the sled. Going, thank you. Going right hand one way, left hand the other way. You'll feel your back, or at least my back and abs, are super exhausted after all these circuits. And this is a nice, I guess, big fat cherry on top. Oh, for the kettlebell movement, using towels and 2 kettlebells to do front raises. The towel grip adds an instability component, forcing a much more intentional and concentrated contraction of the anterior delts, leading to a much better mind-muscle connection. Also, the forearms have to stay much more activated because of the thicker and unstable towel grip. Going for 8 to 10 each side. That was the 3rd set of the circuit. 2 more left, after which there'll be some posing. This is my friend Isan say hello to the world. Okay. But yeah, probably we'll do some posing after. Let's see how that goes.